Paris, 1842. An old woman is dictating. She is 68 years old, alone in a Parisian hospice, and she has nothing left. What she is describing is 22 years of campaigns, 3 horses killed under her, 4 saber cuts in a single day. Her name is Thérèse Figueur. You may know her by another name, Madame Sans-Gêne. Thérèse Figueur was born in a village in Burgundy in 1774. At 9 years old, it was her uncle who took her in, Joseph Viard, an artillery officer in the Royal Army. He taught her to ride, to hold a saber. She would write later, "Nature had amused itself by making me a woman, but my calling had now declared itself." Thérèse Figueur was a soldier. She was 19 years old. 1793. France was tearing itself apart. Thérèse fought alongside the Federalists. When Republican troops crushed their column, she was captured along with her uncle. The choice offered to her was simple: join the Republican ranks or the guillotine. She joined the Légion des Allobroges, and it was there that her blunt tongue earned her a nickname, Sans-Gêne, not as an insult, as a title. A few months later, at Toulon, she took a bullet to the chest. In the same skirmish, she was punished for carrying a message too slowly under enemy fire. She talked back to the officer who reprimanded her. She is said to have called the young Corsican commander a swarthy little runt. His name was Bonaparte. He would remember. 1794. The Committee of Public Safety issued a decree. Women could no longer serve in the French army. Her officers signed a petition. There is no question of parting with the dragon Sans-Gêne. At the time, dozens of women were fighting in the revolutionary armies, but most disguised themselves as men, served under false names, and vanished from the records the moment they were wounded. Thérèse served under her own name, in plain sight, from the very first day. She stayed. She fought in Spain, Italy, on the Rhine, in Switzerland. At the Battle of La Fonderie, she carried a general with a bullet wound to the head back to safety under enemy fire. He would go on to become a member of parliament. She refused to be promoted to corporal for her actions. Piedmont, 1799. The French were falling back across Italy. General Championet's army met the Austrians under Melas on the plains of Piedmont. More than 3,000 French killed or wounded. In that chaos, Thérèse Figueur took 4 saber cuts. She was captured. She escaped. She crawled through the enemy camp in the darkness, disappeared into the Piedmont night, and made it back to French lines. Paris, 1802. Bonaparte, now first consul, received her. He called her Monsieur Sans-Gêne. He asked her, smiling, whether she still thought he looked like a swarthy little runt. Then he offered her a position attending his wife, Josephine, at the Chateau of Saint-Cloud. She tried. 10 days, then she left. In Spain, the war had no front. Around Burgos, she handed out bread to beggars, tended to the wounded, took in stray dogs. When the guerrilla leader Geronimo Merino captured her, he handed her over to the British rather than have her killed. She had probably saved her own life through sheer generosity. 39 days at sea, a storm that sank 3 ships. She arrived in England, placed under house arrest with a tailor in a village in Hampshire. 5 shillings a day, a small garden. Beer she found truly superior. She waited for 1814, for peace, for the abdication. She wrote, "We were told that we were free," and added that she was glad of it and sorry at the same time. 1815. Napoleon had returned. She came home. He decorated her personally at a military review. He had not forgotten. Then came Waterloo, and it was truly over. She applied to enter Les Invalides. 22 years of service, wounds, campaigns from Spain to Italy, on account of her sex, refused. In 1818, she married her childhood friend. He died 11 years later. She was left alone, with no sufficient pension. "I spent the rest of my years struggling against poverty." And then, in 1893, 32 years after her death, a playwright named Victorien Sardou staged a play at the Vaudeville Theatre. He drew inspiration from her. He took the nickname. He gave it to someone else. The real Sans-Gêne would probably have had something very precise to say about that.